everyone. We just saw y'all. Welcome. This is In-Laws in Crime.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Megan. We just saw y'all. Once again, we're recording 2 in one day, so...
Yep. Bear with us.
Bear with us.
In a different location in the house.
Yes.
So
and once again, we're sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
We're not sure if we're going to make this a thing or not. It's pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
So those chairs in there and the kitchen table are wood.
Yeah, they're pretty hard.
And they're not comfy to sit on for a couple
long
hours.
Periods of time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we already have a corrections corner.
Yes. I have to correct myself. Okay. My last 2 episodes, I did not give any credit to my sourcing. So, Cowboy Bob, I got all my information basically from the internet, but it was a Texas Monthly story is my biggest, where my research came from.
Okay.
And then, sorry, I put it on the floor. Okay. And then the trash that was Charles Albright for sourcing was, I had 2 documentaries to watch. The World's Most Evil Killers, season 7, episode 12, and Mark of a Serial Killer, season 1, episode 3, were my sources for Charles Albright.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you. Correction made.
Yes. And we don't have a crime corner for this episode because we did it in the last episode.
Yep.
And this is the same day.
Nothing's happened in the last hour.
No, not that we know of. I'm sure there has, but East Texas would be crazy.
Yeah.
But okay, today we are doing my episode 11.
Episode
We're in
11.
double digits now.
Yeah, we are.
I'm covering Jerry McFadden, the animal.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait to hear this.
Yeah, this was insane. I couldn't believe it. I'd never heard of this.
Yeah.
So references are wikipedia.com, kltv.com, tylerpaper.com. I also listen to a podcast, and her podcast is Texas True Crime. So shout out. I listened to the one that she did on him, on the animal, and it was really good. And then I also watched a documentary, and it's on Southern Gothic season 1, episode 1.
Okay.
So they kicked their whole thing off with him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. And I watched a few more of their documentaries just because I like the way they're done. It's pretty cool. But it's called Southern Gothic, and I watched it on Hulu if anybody wants to get on there and watch.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Okay, so off we go. We are in Hawkins, Texas, which is right down the road from where we're at.
Yes, it is.
Hawkins, Texas, on May 4th, 1986. 86, what a good year. Out at Lake Hawkins. It's on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. 19-year-old Brian Boone, 20-year-old Gina Turner, and 18-year-old Suzanne Harrison all went out to enjoy a day on the lake, swimming out there.
Yeah.
And I've been to the Hawkins Lake several times. We used to go quite a lot, actually. And it's a really pretty lake. We would go out there because it had really nice sandy little beach area and stuff like that. So good little lake. The 3 were good friends and went out to the lake often together, as did a lot of the other young people at the time that lived around Hawkins. But when 10 p.m. came around and they still weren't home, this was pretty alarming.
Uh-oh.
They were pretty good kids. And Suzanne's mother in particular, Mary Ann Hester, called Gina's parents, Calvin and Helen Turner, because she was extremely concerned, Suzanne's mother. Suzanne was Mary's only daughter, and the 2 were extremely close. Suzanne was a Hawkins cheerleader and was described as everyone's little sister. Very upbeat and always positive. She had dreams of being a teacher one day. Gina and Suzanne were best friends. Gina had graduated Hawkins High School 2 years earlier and was actually the valedictorian of her class.
Wow.
Yeah. Something that she was really proud of. And her and Suzanne were always together. Brian Boone had recently graduated from Hawkins as well, and he was said to have such a great sense of humor, and was described as a great football player and just a kind of tough, really tough, nice guy, if that makes sense.
Okay.
The 3 of them were not known to cause any trouble, like I said, and they were really good. People called them, quote, good East Texas kids. And so when they didn't show up on their curfews, it was really concerning to the parents for, because that's something they wouldn't have done. So they are not there and they don't show up the whole night. So the next day, Monday morning, May 5th, the three still were not there. So Gina's dad actually went on horseback because they had a few horses and they lived close to the lake. He goes on horseback to the lake to look for them.
So they haven't called police at this point?
I think they had. I don't know. Actually.
But you know what? Back then, everyone was a runaway at that point.
They do here in a second, but I'm not sure if they had reported it yet. Okay. So I'm not sure. But Brian's older brother, Kendall, also went to the lake to search, and he actually ends up finding Brian's truck that they had taken to the lake.
Oh, not a good sign.
It's still parked there in the parking lot, and in the truck, all of their belongings are in there. So Brian's keys, the girls' purses, and some of the beach gear that they had taken with them.
Wow.
Is all in the truck.
Okay. So
the family then calls Wood County officials. The lake itself is a big lake with a surface area of over from 633 to 77600 acres worth of water level.
Wow.
Surface level.
Yeah.
Or surface, not level. What would that be called? Surface area? I don't know. Anyways.
You got it.
It's surrounded by woods and county roads that kind of spider web from it. Officers immediately start driving all of these back roads surrounding the lake in search of the three missing kids. As the search begins to escalate, authorities go to the Hawkins High School to see if any of those students there, because they were still pretty much friends with all the, kids
they're young. They just were recently graduated.
And Hawkins is a really small town. Right. So the authorities go to the high school there to see if any of the students there had heard or seen from the kids. They interview a couple of their friends at the school there and question them on the details of their last interactions they had from with them. A few hours into the search, at around 12:45 p.m., though, a road construction crew discovers the body of Susanna Harrison about 20 miles away in a remote area called Barnwell Mountain Park in Gilmer.
No.
Yeah. She had been beaten, sexually assaulted, and strangled with her own underwear.
Oh my God.
Yes. The crime scene was quickly secured and they began to process it.
Remind me how old she is.
She is...
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. She is 18.
She's the 18-year-old. Yeah. Okay.
Beaten and sexually assaulted and strangled with her own underwear. Like, dang. So like I said, they secure that crime scene and they start searching the surrounding area of where they found her body. And this is where they actually found the shorts and underwear of Gina near Susanna's body. As they processed where Susanna was found, authorities set up a perimeter there and in Hawkins. So they set up a perimeter where they find her body, which is in the Barnwell Mountain area. And then they also set up a kind of perimeter around Lake Hawkins.
Okay.
And so that's when they start like stopping vehicles, searching vehicles, asking people, have you seen them? All of this stuff. During this, a motorist told an officer that the night the kids went missing, he remembered seeing a blue Ford Bronco driving very erratically away from the park.
Ooh.
Of Barnwell Park. The next day, Wood County officers began to comb through files from other incidences and come up with a report from the same night the kids went missing. A couple, Denise and Clifton, were out at the lake parking, having a good old time, when a blue Ford Bronco drives past them really slowly. And the driver actually makes eye contact with Denise. And this freaked her the hell out. She was just like automatically, she felt.
Creeper?
Yes. And the Bronco turns back around and comes back towards where they're at and stops. And a man gets out. And in the documentary, Denise she's actually talking. And she said when she sees that he's getting out, she just looks at Clifton because she was too scared to even look and see what was going on. But then she kind of feels that he's right there. So she finally turns. And when she turns, there's a gun in her face. I could not imagine.
Oh my gosh. Clifton, put the car in gear and let's go.
Listen to this, though. Clifton is my hero in this.
Okay, all right.
So
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so guns in her face when she turns around. The man yells at Clifton to get out of the vehicle. But when she oh, wait, I'm ahead. Okay, so guns in her face. He tells Clifton, he yells to get out of the car, but Denise notes that she sees the gun that's directly in her face, and she notes it as a .38 revolver. And I thought it was so funny because in the documentary, she says, I'm a Texas girl, and Texas girls know their guns. And I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Clifton gets out of the car, and the man starts telling him to give him all of his money. And he said, he says this actually, quote, give me all your money or I'm going to take your woman.
Oh,
which good.
Wow.
God.
Okay.
Sir. Clifton, in an extremely brave move, though, tries to de-escalate the situation by popping his trunk and offering a man a beer. Yeah.
Clifton's like, bro, like, calm down. Let's have a beer. Let's
buddy.
chat about it.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Do you need a beer, sir? So this threw the man off. So Cliff didn't appear to be scared of him at all. And Denise was just like, what is going on? She's still in the vehicle watching all this in the rearview mirror, hearing it. So he offers him the beer. This threw the man way off. But he actually ends up putting his gun in the waistband of his jeans and taking the beer from Clifton.
No.
Yes. Cliff then tells the man that.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This situation. All right. I'm sorry.
Some people just have that brain where they're just like, okay, how can I really get out of the situation in the calmest way possible? And I think some people's brains just start clicking together of things that they can do.
I mean, but
so
at any
impressive
second, this guy could have pulled the trigger.
Oh yeah, but that's just like in when like victims, which we'll cover this, I'm sure, eventually, like women that get kidnapped or something, or anybody that gets kidnapped, and they start trying to like appeal to their kidnapper and really bring them back down. And so I think that's kind of
what we're seeing here.
Yes.
Okay.
So
well, I'm glad Clifton gave it a go and tried. So.
Yeah. He got, yeah. So
okay.
So the man puts his gun away, like I said, in his jeans, and then takes the beer from Cliff. But Cliff ends up telling the guy that they need to leave because Denise's father is going to come looking for her soon because this is in the evening. Cliff slowly gets back in the car. They back out, and he tells Denise, get that license plate number off that Bronco. And he says, quote, that guy's going to end up killing somebody tonight.
Oh my gosh. So wait, so he... The only thing
right now.
I know, the only thing that they're out right now is a beer.
Right.
He didn't give him any money out of his wallet.
He attempted to rob them.
He didn't get,
but I don't think he got anything. No. And Clifton's just like, I don't have any money, but here's a beer. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he tells her to get the license plate. She gets a partial license plate. In their report, they describe the guy as a big, creepy looking dude with a crap ton of tattoos, like just covered. And
probably jailhouse tattoos,
specifically satanic tattoos.
Yikes.
Terrifying. Cliff also told the police that when he asked what the guy's name was, the man had told him, they call me the animal.
Who's they?
Sir, who's they? The people in your brain.
Who's they? Yeah, the people that are talking to you right now, all the many voices in your head.
I bet poor Cliff was just like, okay,
cool. Here's the beer.
Thanks, Mr. Animal. So now the police have a description and a partial license plate number of this guy. So they run the partial plate and find a blue Bronco registered to a Dorothy McFadden out of Orr, Texas, Orr City. Police go to this address that was on the registration, but nobody's home. So they put out a bolo for the Ford Bronco. And on May 6th, an officer on patrol spots the Bronco and pulls it over. When the man steps out of the vehicle, they immediately see the tattoo, a specific tattoo that the couple from the lake had described on his chest. And there were the words that said, death before dishonor for the lonesome loser.
I'm sorry. What? One more time? Well, what?
So on his chest, on his chest,
okay,
he has a tattoo that says death before dishonor for the lonesome loser.
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
But hey, okay.
Okay. But it got him, landed him.
Yeah.
In handcuffs.
Way to go, dumbass. They take the man back to the station where they learn his real name is Jerry Walter McFadden. a little bit about old Jerry. Jerry was born on March 21st, 1948, and was the son of Herman and Dorothy McFadden. He was known to be a troublemaker early on, and he dropped out of school before even attending junior high. He started working in the oil field. Mm-hmm. And by 19, married a 15-year-old girl.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing?
Man.
Okay.
The couple had 2 children, but divorced a few years later, likely due to Jerry's constant brushes with law enforcement because he was always in freaking trouble. When the officers run his background, they find Jerry had been paroled. This is about to piss everybody off. When officers run his background, they find that Jerry had been paroled only a year prior for aggravated sexual assault, in which he received a 15-year sentence. Prior to that, he had been sentenced to another 15 years for 2 counts of rape and had been paroled then as well.
Why are we continuing to let a rapist back on the streets?
Isn't that so smart? So a little bit about these things. So in 1973, Jerry raped a 14-year-old girl and a junior high school teacher in Denton and Haskell County.
Oh, okay.
He receives 15-year sentence for this, but was paroled. And while on parole in 1979 in Shackelford County, Texas, he kidnapped and raped an 18-year-old secretary at knife point.
Okay.
He was out on parole for this after only serving less than 5 years.
I don't understand our laws.
So when I was digging into this, because I was like, what the are we doing? I was digging into it, and apparently the jails were overrun.
So we just put a rapist out? That was our best one?
So
we're like, he's the least monster that we have in here?
Yeah. For good behavior.
Can we not just transfer him to somewhere else?
I mean, yeah, he's in a jail.
The bottom of the ocean, perhaps?
Well, I mean, he can rape people. But I mean, yeah, he's going to act okay in jail. He ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
So anyways, So
okay.
This is aggravated sexual assault and rape of these 3 women. Sorry. Once again, I need to stop drinking energy drinks when I record. I just want to burp. So anyways, so keep that in mind. He has done this 3 times.
He's a repeat offender, and we keep letting him out.
And so, like in your case, before this, he raped a 9-year-old girl and didn't even get jail time.
No.
At least this guy, he had a 15-year sentence, but then got freaking paroled.
Yeah.
Less than 5 years.
Yeah.
So police questioned Jerry about the robbery with the couple from the lake, and Jerry claims he thought Cliff was a guy that he saw at a bar previously and was only joking when he said he was robbing them, and the gun was a fake gun.
Really? Nobody believes you.
I put eye roll. Shut up, Jerry.
Shut up, Jerry.
When they asked him about Suzanne and the other, and I can't remember if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know if it's Suzanne or Susanna. So I think it's Suzanne. I'm really sorry. I'm pretty sure it's Suzanne. And the other 2 still missing teens, he refuses to talk about them. So they arrest him and charge him with the aggravated robbery, at least, so they can hold him. The Ford Bronco is taken in so investigators can process and examine it. They collect all that they can and dust for fingerprints, but they don't find anything of the 3 missing teens.
They find nothing.
Nothing.
Interesting.
Yeah. In the meantime, Suzanne's family is now planning a funeral, unfortunately, for their daughter, and Brian and Gina are still missing. 4 days later, Suzanne's funeral was held at Hawkins High School, where it was a packed auditorium.
I can imagine.
So in the documentary, it kind of goes into when they were trying to figure out where to have her funeral at. That was literally the only place in Hawkins that was big enough to hold.
Oh, yeah.
Who all wanted to come. So sad. After the service, everyone gets right back to the search for Brian and Gina. Hawkins is an extremely rural community, and these searches had to comb through acres and acres of woods, swamp, high-grassed fields, all the things. Everyone was devastated about Suzanne, but they kept their hopes up that Brian and Gina might still be out there alive somewhere. But unfortunately, on May 10th, the bodies of both teens were discovered. They had been dumped in a ditch and had both died from gunshot wounds.
Was it from a 38 revolver, perhaps?
Probably, I would believe so. The ditch they were found in was off of a road that led to Barnwell Mountain. But more importantly, they were found extremely close to where Jerry McFadden lived in Ore City with his mother.
Ooh.
So when authorities search the home, though, nothing is found linking Jerry to the scene. They then take DNA samples from Jerry and compared the samples from Suzanne's body, and it is a match. So that at least they got that. Unfortunately, though, due to Brian and Gina being out in the elements for so long and decomposition, they were unable to retrieve any DNA.
It was all gone.
At least back then. They probably could now, but back then they couldn't get any DNA from them. But prosecutors decide to move forward and charge Jerry with capital murder for Suzanne Harrison. Jerry's in
jail.
Jerry's in jail. Everybody. Awaiting trial when he freaking escapes.
He escaped? No. Oh my God.
Oh,
How?
I don't know. I didn't know this part of the story. And so I'm sitting there watching the documentary, because I watched the documentary first and then I listened to the podcast after that. But I was watching the documentary and my eyes just almost popped out of their sockets. And I was like, what? So he escapes. He was in Upshur County Jail in Gilmer, Texas, when on July 9th, 1986, jailer Rosalie Turner noticed that Jerry was acting extremely agitated and like rattling a cell door, yelling that he wanted a phone call. Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk to you, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry, shut up. I would have went over there and kicked the door and been like, shut up. So he wanted to use the telephone. So she calls another deputy to come in to let Jerry out to use the jail phone. No weapons are allowed in the jail area, so the deputy had to lock his gun up in like a safe in the office area and then proceeded to let Jerry out of his cell. Officer Turner was watching them walk back to her towards the hall when Jerry pulls out a metal object and hits the other deputy over the head, knocking him out and onto the floor. Jerry then grabs Officer Turner and makes her help him drag the unconscious man into the jail cell that he just got let out of, locking him in there. He grabs her and drags her back to the officers' where the officers lock up their weapons, makes her unlock it, and this is where he retrieves the gun. He points it at her and tells her to walk them both to her vehicle outside.
Okay, I'm just going to say this, and I know I'm going to get pushback for this because, equal rights.
We love pushback.
Equal rights and everything, but I'm sorry, but why do we have a female in here assisting? Like these are big dudes, and we're by nature smaller than the men. I just, and then so now you have a female in this position, unarmed, right? There's got to be.
Yeah, I think rules have changed now because I've known in my actual job that I work a lot with officers and stuff like that, and so I know a lot of female jailers and not discipline, oh my gosh, what's the term, they work in the prison systems and stuff, so I know a lot of them, and they're fine and they're good and they do their job great, but they are armed.
Right. That's what I mean. Why did we put, and I don't know, maybe Rosalie was a big girl. I don't know. Maybe she could have held her own.
She was tiny.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That was a bad position, I think, to put her in.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't go unlock the jail herself. She already knew that.
Yeah.
She had to call in another officer to get that done. Mm-hmm. And then look what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the old animal was just freaking psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, he gets a gun. Now he has a gun. He points it at her, tells her to walk them both out to her vehicle. They get out and they get to her car, and then Jerry speeds away, driving erratically with Rosalie in the car.
Oh my gosh, he has her in the car.
Yes, he has taken her hostage.
And he's a monster.
Yeah, yeah. And he's big guy. Big guy. Big scary guy. Turner remembered just trying to get Jerry to calm down. She kept saying to him, Jerry, I understand everything is going to be okay if you will just calm down. She was just trying to get him to calm down. When authorities discovered that Jerry has escaped and taking Turner hostage, they set up an intense manhunt. It made national news, and it is still the largest manhunt in Texas history.
Wow.
So we're about to go down that road.
Yes.
So state and federal law enforcement, along with armed private Texans, you in Texas and
Wow.
you do this. So state and federal law enforcement, along with armed private Texas citizens, search for the escapee.
Well, yeah, because everyone's going to be nervous.
Oh, yeah.
You're worried about your daughters and your sons and,
these
your
are
wives.
Small towns. These are small
Yeah.
Texas towns.
Yeah, you got to be on the lookout.
Yeah, and everybody knows everybody, and so everybody was very invested in this case.
Yeah.
So, obviously, when they found out that he escaped from the jail, everybody's pissed.
Right.
So,
Andy he's escaped. Andy has a hostage.
And he's taken her hostage, yes. So Jerry's face and description is everywhere. Like I said, this made national news. At some point, Jerry runs off a road into a tree, and he makes Turner get out, and they start running through the woods. They eventually come upon a parked, it's like an abandoned parked boxcar from a train on the train tracks, and they get in there. And it's because they've been running for miles and miles through these woods, and they come upon it, and he gets in there, and he's just trying to rest and catch their breath. So, he lays down, tries to catch his breath, and he keeps telling Turner that he isn't a bad person.
She knows what you're in there for, Jerry.
Yeah, he gives her this whole speech. He's like telling her, like, I'm not a bad person at all. I keep getting mixed up in these situations. Blah 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 blah.
I'm sorry. How do you get mixed up in aggravated sexual assault of a woman?
No.
How do you get mixed up in that?
No, I said I beg to differ, sir. That is a bunch of bullcrap. He's just trying to be.
Oh, Jerry pisses me off.
Yeah. Turner, though, she's trying to sympathize with him.
All right.
And tells him things like, it's going to be okay. We are going to get through this. So she is just really trying to
de-escalate the situation.
Down. Yes.
Okay.
So
good for her, because that's hard to keep your cool, right? Like, to think on your feet.
I know.
So I probably would have already peed myself.
I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't think I'd be doing this. A little later, and after Turner was able to gain a bit of trust, Jerry tells her that he's going to go find some water, and he points the gun at her, though, and says, stay right there.
Ooh.
Turner remembers that after Jerry had been gone for a bit, she heard God say, run. I know.
I just got, yeah, I did. Yeah.
In the documentary, I was just like, yep, that's insane.
Wow. Okay.
She heard God say, run.
God.
And I put,
run.
I know. I put goosebumps. Turner says she ran for miles and miles through the woods until she finally reaches a house. She sees a house.
Oh.
She goes to the door, and she just pushes herself through the door and falls to the floor crying. The gentleman that was home had actually just seen her face broadcasted on the news, and he knew exactly who she was.
Oh my God.
And he comes up to her and just hugs her, and he's just like, I just saw you on the news. You're safe. You're safe. You're fine.
I'm going to cry.
I know. I know. So
I just can't imagine her overwhelming feeling
she just
of
escaping
this monster. And she did it seems like, without any relative, like much harm to her.
No. Yeah,
I mean, I know he drug her out, and she's probably not without at least, mental
psychological
things.
Yeah, sure.
But he didn't rape her, right? Or anything like that.
No.
So
no, he just literally took her hostage and made her run for however miles and miles and miles, but she's okay. She's
okay.
fine. So she falls to the floor crying. This man is just like, I just saw your face. And so he calls authorities to report that we found her. I have her. She's here. So everyone was so grateful, obviously, that Turner was okay, but Jerry is still out there somewhere and on the run, and now armed with a gun. So everyone was on the lookout. Local law enforcement then come upon an abandoned house located in Big Sandy. So the Big Sandy area where they think he might be hiding, which is close. It's, closer to.
It's all in the kind of the same area.
Yeah. This is all relatively around Hawkins area. So Big Sandy is right there too. It's a huge abandoned house that they come upon, and they think that he might be in there because when they have been kind of looking at it, somebody's in there. And so local Big Sandy sheriff.
How eerie.
I know.
How eerie.
I know. Local Big Sandy sheriff officers surround the house and make their way in and find Jerry. He still has the gun, but he drops it when he sees about 6 other guns pointing towards him. Overall, around 50 law enforcement agencies participated in the search for Jerry, and 6 Collin County sheriff officers were the ones that made the arrest.
Wow.
It was a huge, huge deal, apparently.
Did you say maybe how long did this manhunt go on for?
I don't know. I could never get like a
good time frame.
I only think a few days.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I almost want to say like maybe 2 days max.
Okay, because the entire East Texas community would have been on edge,
But I mean, you have to realize like this is back then, and he murdered 3 teens and, was a previous rapist and all of this stuff. And so when he got out, I mean, everybody's
looking for this
alert. Yeah. So it was a huge, huge search. Okay. So once he is back in Upshur County Jail, prosecutors start building their cases. They take months and months building their case because they wanted it done right, and they wanted Jerry to never see freedom again. They decide to go for the death penalty, and they get just that. Jerry was found guilty and sentenced to death for the murder of Suzanne Harris. Unfortunately, Brian and Gina's deaths were part of the testimony, but there was no evidence to convict Jerry of their murders. Unfortunately, they didn't have anything to, concretely convict him. So Jerry was executed on October 14th, 1999 at Huntsville Prison by lethal injection.
Wow, that didn't take long because it seems like, that didn't take long because it happened in 86 and then you said it was 1999. It feels like people sit on death row for like decades. Sometimes it feels
I know, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's like the appeals process or what that is, but I don't know. He wasn't on there very long. I think everybody just freaking hated him.
Yeah.
And if you Google pictures of him, I'll try and post pictures of him. Terrifying.
Really?
Absolutely terrifying. At least when he was doing this.
So Jerry McFadden, the animal.
The animal.
Okay.
Yeah. Hawkins.
Awful.
Awful.
Well, I'm glad he's off the streets.
Yeah.
And wherever he's at now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And it was such a strange little case because, I mean, we're right here. And I'd never heard of this case.
We're going to make ourselves like panic to even leave the house.
Yeah. I'm just going to go home into here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Megan.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I can bring you that terrifying
It's a lot
case.
of murder for you and I on a Sunday afternoon.
My goodness. Oh, I'm going to need to go home and knit. Or you know what? Hey, here's a good palette.
Are you knitting?
No. No. But here's a good palette cleanser for everybody. If you're needing a good, wholesome show, new show alert. It's called Annie. Well, it's not new. I think they did this in 2017. But so did you ever watch Anne of Green Gables?
I did not.
Okay. When I went to school, when I was in my school, they made us watch Anne of Green Gables when we were in junior high, I believe.
Okay.
Netflix remade it in 2017 and released it. And it's called Anne with an E or Annie with an E. So good.
Really?
So good. All the good feels. It's set back in way back then times.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's so wholesome and good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drew teared up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh,
and that man did not tear up when our children were born or when we got married. And I looked back when we were watching Annie with an E, and he had a tear almost coming down his face. And I was just like, what?
Get out, Drew.
Get out. But yeah, so good. Everybody needs to go watch it. It's really good on Netflix. If you need a palate cleanser, because I know I sure do.
I know. Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyways, come back. We're going to probably take our little Thanksgiving break, but then we will be back the next week, hard and heavy at it.
Yeah.
With all the crime.
With all the crime.
Mm-hmm. But
like, subscribe, and share.
Thank you.
Find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook,
Apple, Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
All the things.
You can email us at inlawsandcrime@gmail.com.
If you have a fun tale.
Yeah.
Or a
if
recommendation.
You have your own palate cleanser.
If you
a
have
recommendation.
Your own palate cleanser. Correct. I mean, anything. Hey, if you just want to say, hey,
just
guys.
say hello and tell us that we're doing awesome, or maybe
tell us that you love us.
Yeah.
We'll take that any day.
Correction for our corrections corner.
If you do email a correction, be kind. Be kind. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. And we will see you next time. So keep your roots deep.
And your head on a swivel.
Bye.